Welcome to hashtag WFH. I'm Samuel Burke. And guys, work from home looks like it is here for the long haul, especially as we see hotspots flare up in the United States, closing businesses and sending workers back home again. This means that many companies are having their employees invest in their work from home setups. Google, for instance, sending each of its employees $1,000. The kitchen chair just isn't going to do anymore, so companies are having to get their employees ergonomic chairs like they're used to in the office, and using that $1,000 maybe to upgrade a loud air conditioner that you're having to hear all day long. These are important steps, easier for big companies to take, but harder for smaller and medium-sized companies to make, but necessary in this long-term work-from-home environment. On this edition, we're speaking to the producer and a star of a popular new series, all filmed from home. That's coming up right here on hashtag WFH. Now it's time for my top 3 tips. This week, we're looking at maintaining work visibility from the comfort of your home. One of the biggest challenges of working from home is staying on your boss's radar so you can work toward that next big raise or promotion. So here's what you can do. Number 1, set up a weekly meeting with your boss. That way you can't get lost in the shuffle. Number 2, bring up colleagues' work to your boss. That way they know that you're part of the team and leading your team. And number 3, set up a socially distanced get-together with your colleagues as your local rules permit. Maybe a work picnic. This way your boss can see that you're keeping the cohesion between you and your teammates. For a production company, Idea First, the passion for production continues to burn bright. From the company that brought us highly acclaimed films like Barber's Tales, Die Beautiful, and Sleepless, comes the online series Gameboys, a show that is being produced completely from the safety of everybody's home. With us is filmmaker Percy Intalon to give us a peek into the production industry today. Percy, welcome to the show. I just want to start by asking you, what was your initial reaction to the lockdowns? Did you think that this would just be a couple of weeks away from production, or did you think, well, this could be a long-term situation that we're going to have to adapt to?
I think we went through the whole 7 steps of denial or so. The first stage, everybody was just frozen. Then it's denying that this is happening, and they were angry. But why is this happening? And then it all sinks in again that we have to find a way, because we don't know how long this will last, and we don't know if we will ever go back to normal. Hopefully, we do. So,
did you sit down with your team and start brainstorming?
Yeah, I think it was on the 2nd week or the 3rd week when we decided, because we are a creative company, so we recognize, me and my partner June, who's also director, recognized that the creative people were actually feeling the brunt of it worse, I guess, than most people, because your creative fire kind of dies out with all this uncertainty. So we said, okay, let's do a brainstorming. What can we do? So we thought, yeah, we can do something, because I think everybody's sad and tired, but we really want to watch, stories about being sad and tired. And then, so we brainstormed, and then this particular idea came along, Gameboys, and we thought, okay, it actually might be something that we can do. We just don't know how at that point yet.
And would you say that this was an idea in search of the business side of this, or was this really a creative idea?
It's one of those things that start off with a different motive. The first motive was just to get everybody out of their rut. And the second motive was, to be honest, people needed jobs, right? The right idea came along, and we decided, yeah, let's do it. The business side of things was actually quite far down the line. I was thinking, I don't have any idea how we're going to recover what we're going to expend, but I do know that we need to do something rather than just sit and wait. So it was kind of a leap of faith. We said, okay, let's do it.
And walk us through the first time you heard that concept. How was it pitched to you? And tell us a little bit about the show for people who haven't seen it.
Gameboys was pitched at the time when BL, it's a genre, boys love genre, that's popular in Asia, was actually becoming popular here in the Philippines. And we kind of liked the premise of the story. And we said, okay, people are watching this now. It's the genre that people are gravitating towards. So let's make one of those. That seems to make sense, right? And then as we were going along, we realized the requirements were a lot more elaborate for a narrative, for a scripted drama. So what we wound up doing, because we don't have a budget, is we wound up like, okay, who has a phone? Who has a nice phone? Can you courier it over to this actor? Oh, how about that phone? Can you courier that? Who has a light? Right? Can somebody please send the light over? So, our actors are really happy that the actors were very cooperative because they wound up just receiving a lot of stuff and we were telling them what to do with it.
Well, Percy, it absolutely sounds like a case of the show must go on, but our show must pause for a second. Coming right up, we're going to be speaking with one of the stars of Gameboys and seeing how he's adapted to having to film and act at the very same time. We'll be right back with more of #WFH. Welcome back to #WFH, work from home, or in this case, filming and shooting from home. We've been speaking to director Percy Intalon about his series Gameboys, which is filmed all from the actors' homes. And joining us now is Elijah Canlas, who's one of the actors who's also been filming from home. Elijah, when Percy came to you with this idea, what did you think at first?
The first question that popped into my mind was, is this gonna be shot after the quarantine, after the lockdown? And Direct Percy immediately answered me that, nope, we're shooting from our homes.
What was the biggest challenge for you? Did you have the equipment that you needed right away?
They had to send us set pieces and props to set up the room for the character. And we were really experimenting on how to shoot the show properly while telling a good story. And I'm just shooting in my home. My older brother serves as my camera operator. And it was kind of awkward because I was supposed to be flirting with my co-actor and my brother's just behind the camera. And I'm just listening to the boys. And our director is just giving notes every after the take. And I'm just looking at them through my laptop screen, through the Zoom. It's really challenging. But now after a couple of episodes, after shooting a couple of episodes, I would say that I've kind of gotten the hang of it.
And I'm curious from you, Percy, what did you see as the single biggest challenge as you started with the actors actually filming and acting?
Sticking to your guns, to be honest, there was a point when there was that question like, do we just try to simplify our lives and maybe let's all just lock in one place and shoot this a normal way? And I was the one who kept prodding the team. We need to conquer this. It has to be something that we have to adapt to. We cannot surrender to these limitations and just say, we can't do it. Because whoever does this well will reap the benefits. And fortunately, I feel like I've been proven right. Because now everybody's talking to us like, how did you do it? How are you doing it?
And I'm curious for you, Elijah, now that you've been doing this for so many weeks, do you like doing it in your own home, in your own space, or are you ready to get back to the production studios?
Well, I can't lie. I miss having to shoot a film or a series with the people in my presence. But aside from it being the most challenging thing I've had to do, it's also the most learning and rewarding experience I've had to do. The whole show also gave me good company to keep my sanity during this quarantine.
And how has it felt that the show has had such a strong reaction, Elijah?
I never expected it. I don't know with Direct Percy, but I never expected it. At first, we were just collaborating, experimenting on how to work on and keep telling stories. But now, I guess the most pleasant surprise actually is that our show has an international audience, has international fans.
Do you have a message for all the creative people out there, other actors, people in all different types of productions about keeping the creative juices going while they're still under these lockdowns that are coming and going and then coming back, Elijah?
I guess all I have to say is that don't be scared and don't fret to do whatever you want to do. We're trying to show everybody that it's possible, and other studios, other people have worked on their passion as well, even despite this whole pandemic. So it's possible. Whatever it is, it's possible.
And Percy, your suggestions for all of us, whether we're working in TV news or movie or series productions, and I'm curious to know whether you think this will continue past the pandemic.
Well, we don't know how long this will last, but we do know that we have stories to tell, and we have, it's built into our DNA. Everybody who's behind the camera or in front of the camera, this is what we do, and we can't just allow these limitations to stop us from doing that. I think that's the big message. You'll be surprised at how creative you can get and how innovative you can get. And sometimes as they say, necessity is the mother of invention. Sometimes that's where you discover something new about yourself or something new about your craft. So I hope people just continue on and not just wait for this pandemic to end. I hope it does, but we can't just keep waiting.
And do you think you would still do this even if you didn't have to? Is shooting something at home with your stars?
We definitely have plans of continuing. We have another series that we're about to start. Gameboys, we're already planning the movie with or without this pandemic. We're doing this movie. And then we are doing another TV show now, all within the confines of, these limitations.
Well, Percy Intilon and Elijah Canlas, congratulations on the success of Gameboys, and we'll be watching whether you're at home or finally out of the home. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Samuel.
Well, that's a wrap, but it's incredible to see how even the production industry is adapting to the work from home environment. And with all the web conferencing going on these days, I think you don't have to be an actor to relate to the challenges of doing your work in front of a camera. Salamat, and I'll see you right here on the next edition of #WFH.